Hello, this is Mike. I'm the guy that created the Avid Assistant as well as a virtual map extension for it. And today we're going to show you how to add the SSD to the virtual map. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak, we decided to add basic support for SSDs to our beta map, which is basically acts then as a shared whiteboard. More advanced support is planned, but it'll be at least a year or two out. So right now, I just want to get something out there so people can play at home with each other online and without having to print out SSDs. So basically, the SSDs are going to be PNG files, such as these right here. Well, not that guy. However, as most people don't have PNGs, but they have the PDFs sold by Ad Astra Games, such as Shipbook 1 here from the Traveler Kickstarter. First thing you have to do is extract the SSD from the PDF into a graphic. To do that, we have a nice little tool called the PDF extractor. It is right here on the web page. Oh, see, I have a couple examples up already. So it's super simple to use. You just select your PDF. And so we'll just go find a PDF to extract. Or I should say PDF, a ship to extract. Let's go find a Sloan. Sloan. So this is the 3D SSD. So first we need to do is rotate it so it's nice up and down. Then we extract image. Voila, image number one. Depending on how you have your web browser set up, it'll download into like the download directory or pop up a window like this. It all depends how you have it set up. And so let's get another one. Yeah, let's grab the Gianetti as well. Okay. The file names are just generic names like ship 11, ship 15. So this is the Sloan. And once you extract them, obviously you can rename them and store them wherever. Gianetti. If I misspelled it, I'm not going to really care. Okay, so we have our two ship images, the Gianetti and the Sloan. So let's go to the Avid Assistant. And make sure you're at mikezecum.com/beta because you want to use the beta map. The production map does not have the support in it because we're still adding new features and debugging them. So we start a game of Squadron Strike, select player, and go through the usual setup routine. Game name, I'll just Asimov. Game ID. And I'll select lead. It's very important to know that in order to upload SSDs, you need to have a game created because it needs to know which game to upload the SSDs to and be either in lead or follow mode. If you're in neither of those modes, this button right here will not appear. So then on the setup page, we just have buttons like upload SSDs. Pretty self-explanatory, I hope. So here, if you need to know the file sizes, 1584 by 1224, which is 8.5 by 11 inch sheet at 144 DPI. And you can extract them from the PDFs using the PDF extractor. There's another link here as well, just in case you couldn't find it earlier. Then load as PNGs. And if I go over to the SSD tab here, this is the down here that says play. Select to edit. Then we have blank and active. So edit mode blank is basically looking at the SSD as if it was like in your booklet. No unmarked, nothing's on there. So we have the Gianetti. So go to our ship list page, add item. Oh, these are mode 2. Gianetti, hull ID 002. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. Pivot. It's right here, location 6. Roll is a 3 as well. Move is a 5. Position. Open up the position calculator, go to the map. I'll just add it over here. Give it 10 hexes of altitude. A velocity of, say, 5A, 3B. Yeah, 5A, 3E. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's try this again. 5A, 3F. Attitude, we'll face F. Okay. Profile numbers 1, 0, -1, 1, 0, -1, ECM 1, and no ECCM. I don't have any box images to show off today, so we'll just skip this step. So that's our first ship, and we'll just clone that to make a second one. Position there, +10. Okay, so we have 2 ships right there. Now for some opposition, we'll just swing this around to the other side and add in the Sloans. So on the blank sheets here, I can just then select the Sloan. So just go through these. So add item, mode 2, Sloan, all ID, whatever. So this is a pivot of 3, roll a 4, a move a 6, speedy little sucker. Let's toss him here. Level the map, vector. Let's see. Let's go 5 and D. Whoops. 5 and D. Okay. Let's see our 1, 1, 1 for our profile. And ECM is a 1. So that's our first Sloan. We'll just add a second one by cloning it, giving it a name, and we'll place it right there. Okay, so we have 4 ships on the map. Now we need to add their SSDs to the SSD tab. Because right now, if we go to play mode, there's no SSD showing up here. So you go back to edit, and we'll add the Gianettis first. The Gianetti is a 1-up ship sheet, so there's 1 ship per sheet. So we just go edit, blank, since we have no active ones. Select our Gianetti. At the bottom here is add to current SSD sheet. We go click, and you can see we switch over to active since we now have an active SSD. And the ship's items, the name, the class, and the unit ID number here, not class, crew rating. So since we have our movement item selected, we just drag this over to where it belongs. And I know the first request everyone has is, can we get this automated? It's like, well, yes and no. It's software, everything can be automated. No, because I don't know exactly where your information belongs because there's currently 3 different sheets designed, 1 up, 2 up, and 3 up. And I have no way of knowing if this is a 1 up, 2 up, 3 up without adding a lot more support in here. Again, basic support. So here we have our first ship. So we want to add the whirlwind, so we do the same thing. There's no room on this ship sheet to add another item. Though if we did that accidentally, so it's like, oh, wait, we already have this here. We just go to erase and click the name and remove all the data for the whirlwind from the sheet. So then we go back to blank and add it in. So again, just drag the information over. I should point out that all the ship sheets are shared between all the players. So only one person needs to upload all the ship sheets, and people can see all the blank sheets. Okay, so we have that. So now we have the Sloans. So we go back to a blank, select the Sloan. See, this is a 2-up ship sheet. We just add the first one, the Lion. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And since I should really put a unit thing in there, so we can just, let's call this 003. As you can see, it'll update automatically. So the Paramount, we have to add in. So now we're staying on the active ship sheet because we want to add a second ship to the same sheet. If we want to give the Paramount its own ship sheet, we just go to blank and go and select the Sloan. It'll create an additional ship sheet. But since we want to add to an existing one, we go to active. Okay, crew rating, Paramount. Okay. So now we have all 4 of our ship sheets here. We can now go to play mode and let's see. There we go. Yep. So as you see here, when we select Lion, Lion lights up in blue as that is our color. If we go to setup, fleet, change our squadron color to say something like purplish, that'll change to purplish, which is kind of hard to see. So I like red a lot. Okay. So our enemy color be blue then. Okay. So you can see Lion right here is our currently selected ship because Lion is selected here. Go to Paramount. You see now Paramount lights up. We switch to Vermis. Vermis lights up and changes sheets. Same thing for Whirlwind. Now I'm going to turn on the everyone down the target bar here. So as we change through down here, you see nothing changes until we select Attacker. Change that over the target. So now when we go through here, like Paramount, Paramount's now selected. Oh, that's a blank. That's the blank hex, so nothing's there. Whirlwind, etc. Lion, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So then we can switch back to the attacker bar with Whirlwind up here on top. Now to add damage markings, they're all along this side over here. So normal damage, slag damage, shield damage, burn damage, etc. And oh, that's embarrassing to have things pop up in the middle of it. So just mark off damage, just simply like that. A little slag damage. This is not legal damage placement. It's just quickly showing how these are used and what they look like. Shields. And so on. And the depleted goes to the cargo boxes. Then as you change ships, obviously it goes away. or the current ship is displayed, I should say. I switch over to, okay. And to then you can then move them around if you kind of miss where they go, or you want to do a hull substitution. Okay. And to erase, you just select the erase item and go click, 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 click. Just to point out more technical information, when you click something, the data is actually sent to the remote database first, then back to your client, and then is displayed. So depending on your internet connection, there might be a bit of a lag between when you click and when it shows up. This is to ensure that everyone is completely synchronized. Again, it's just currently basic support, and we'll be improving it as time goes on. But want to get something out there quickly. And hopefully it's been obvious. You can zoom in and out with these two buttons. What you cannot do in play mode is erase your ship information or move it around because that is locked. You have to go to edit mode to do that. And so if I want to delete the whirlwind from this SSD and get rid of all of its data, its damage, I select the erase button and then delete one of these three items with it. It'll ask you if you want to remove all the data. If you do, it all goes away. Now you can always then go back and let's see, we need a blank sheet for that. Let's see, good. So which one did I delete? Whirlwind, okay. If you try adding a ship again, it'll say, hey, you already have an SSD for that. So yeah, Whirlwind. I'll create a whole new sheet for the Whirlwind. Useful for scenarios where you have like, Whirlwind number 2 now arrives after the first Whirlwind 1 blew up. Quick way to delete all the damage. Okay. Back to play mode. The last thing to point out is this is designed with adults in mind. There's absolutely nothing preventing your opponent from coming in here, marking up your ship sheet, deleting items, and screwing with it. We assume you're playing with adults and you're trying to have a good time, not screw each other over. If you, in the future, we will, when we get full support, we will be locking it down more tightly. But until then, play like an adult. You may have noticed this little generic die roller down here. This is so you have a quick way to do like crew rate checks for damage control, etc. So this is target number 6 for damage control rolls. I just set to 1 die, target number 6, generate roll, and it tells me I have 1 success. Or, hey, I failed. The reason why it doesn't say crew rate or read the crew rate from the Avid Assistant is this target number can change depending on how much damage you take into your damage control boxes. Because on the rules, if damage control is destroyed, this target number goes up by 2. Or is it 3 now? Can't remember. So you can change it easily down here. Also, as this is Traveler, ooh, failed. Yeah, that's what I typically do anyways. We also have nuclear dampers, which this ship, there it is, 5+. So you just set 5+, and how many times you need to roll, up to 20 dice, and go, just roll. Oh, 11 successes, so that's slightly below average. So, it's me. So I took out 11 incoming nuclear missiles. So that is a quick rundown over the SSD feature. If you have any questions, just leave comments down below and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, have a nice day.